Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. R-Truth squares off against The Miz. These two were former tag team partners. Miz feeling the pressure. What's going on with The Miz? Turn his back on R-Truth. We'll see that coming up. Former tag team champions go one-on-one coming up. Speaking of champions, both current world champions, the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes and world heavyweight champion Gunther come face to face for the first time ever for their highly anticipated matchup at Crown Jewel for the Crown Jewel Championship. Who is the best of the best? WWE amongst the world champions? We'll find out. Speaking of that, Braun Breaker is in action. The former Intercontinental Champion takes on Kofi Kingston, another former Intercontinental Champion. Kofi Kingston out for payback at the Braun Breaker Spear Fest on the Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso, the New Day. We'll get that. But we kick off Raw with this. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, the sexy, powerful, dominant duo, super women, super heroines, take on Women's Damage Control, and it's for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. We kick that off right here, right now, as the Pro Wrestling Show starts. The Raw Ring Report. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Pro Wrestling Show. All right, we're going to get to the meat and bones of the matter. Let's get to what's going on. We're going to get to this. Rhea Ripley, the former women's champion, kicks off Raw with a statement. Rhea wants to make it seem like she wants to do what she needs to do to get the statement across. Rhea Ripley feels like she's been screwed ever since Raquel Rodriguez came back into the picture. Rhea saying that she wants a fight against you know who, but Rhea Ripley being taken down by Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton decided that she wanted to get herself involved. Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley with some strange bedfellows. I'll tell you that right now. Strange bedfellows to me. But Rhea Ripley wanted to get her hands on Raquel and Liv. But Rhea Ripley had a lot on her plate. I'll say that about Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley knows one thing, and Rhea Ripley knows that she want to get her hands on Liv Morgan and win back the Women's World Championship one way or another. That's what Rhea Ripley wants. Rhea Ripley may have to get down the road if that's the possibility tonight, but I'll say that about Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley wants that championship back bad, and she had to do what she has to do. Well, General Manager Adam Pearce made a solution to Rhea Ripley. You won't get your hands on Liv and Raquel. You got to find yourself a partner. And Tiffany Stratton was involved in that mess, and Tiffany Stratton complained to Pierce. She said the same about that Nick Aldis wouldn't do her that way. So General Manager Pierce decided that, hey, you two got issues with these two women. You two team up and you take your issues out on them. Which is kind of smart when you think about it. I think we'll see if that's gonna come down, if Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton can come together to take down Raquel and Liv. Liv and Raquel standing over Rhea and them. But the tag team match was made later tonight. So we'll see that tag team match a little bit later on in the show. What's going on with that? Well, we kick off Raw in the women's match. We told you there was going to be a women's division match. The women's tag team championships were on the line. Bianca Belair and Jade, the smart, sexy, powerful women duo, went against Damage Control for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. And I can tell you this was a tag team championship with a lot of emotion and a lot of stuff going on tonight. Jade and Bianca, what they're using their power and strength and doing that and doing so. You can see Jade right here taking down Kairi Singh. Kairi Singh didn't see it coming, as well as this right here, doing this move right here from Jade. When Jade called her, she missed and doing that powerful move. and what power it was, and that was some power and strength right there by the women's tag team champions. Jade and Bianca retain their women's tag team championships and can continue on their momentum. Jade and Bianca could be some powerful champions for years to come. I tell you that right now. The most two powerful women's tag team champions down the road. If they want to go for the singles, go. One can go for the Raw women's title, and the other one go for the SmackDown women's title. It makes sense. So who knows? We'll see that coming up. Jay and Bianca win their match and defend their tag team championships. We'll see what's next for the women's tag team champions. And you got to wonder about Lash Legend and Shakara Jackson. They was in the crowd tonight, but we'll see how this gonna go for them. Lash Legend and them with that. We'll tell you about Bianca Belair a little bit later on Wrestling Hot Topics on what could she be doing with WrestleMania and what people are saying about her coming up. Well, we tell you this: Braun Breaker, looking to get his hands on main event Jey Uso. He wants to get a shot at main event Jey Uso. He might get that shot a little bit later, but he's saying he won't turn his attention to Kofi Kingston, and Braun Breaker wants to do that with Kofi Kingston. Coming up, Braun Breaker sending a message to Kofi by spearing Kofi Kingston, getting the inside win over Kofi. Braun Breaker win over Kofi. I tell you that Kofi Kingston really didn't have no match against Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker looking to settle the score, and he did so tonight by spearing the heck out of Kofi Kingston, spearing him out his boots, and doing so as well right here. Kofi Kingston uh, getting some measure of revenge on Braun, and we'll see what Braun's going to do next week. We know that Braun got paid got his lick back tonight. Main event Jey Uso spearing the heck out of Braun. Braun did not see that coming one bit. Braun getting taken out of his boots. Braun Breaker getting speared and stuff. So Braun Breaker being speared. We know that next week on Raw, we know that main event Jey Uso will set to defend the Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker in the rematch. Main event Jey Uso now the champion and Braun Breaker the challenger. So it's going to be a really different dynamic. We'll see that next week on Raw. Main event Jey Uso continue his winning ways. Speaking of champions, The Miz took on his former tag team partner R-Truth. R-Truth was trying to get the victory over Miz. I think R-Truth won his match over the Miz. Miz tried to go for the scroll crushing finale on R-Truth. R-Truth found the way to win. Miz being a sore loser, even after R-Truth was being distracted by Damian, by Karrion Kross. We don't know what's going on with that. Karrion Kross torn a wedge between R-Truth and the rest of the boys. And I think R-Truth getting himself together. And I think R-Truth better be careful. I'd say that right now. R-Truth better be knowing what he's doing. And I hate to say that about R-Truth. R-Truth better know what he's doing with Karrion Kross and them. It's going to be real, real wicked. I'll tell you that right now for Karrion Kross and them after what Miz done to them. Miz turned his back on his tag team partner after feeling frustrated, not winning. Speaking of somebody that feeling frustrated, Bronson Reed feeling frustrated that he wants to take his vengeance out on Seth Rollins, that Seth Rollins cost him the last Monster Standing match. Bronson Reed wants to give Seth at Seth, but General Manager Adam Pearce told Bronson, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And Bronson Reed did do that tonight. Bronson Reed did a agreement with Pierce. Pierce saying he will talk to Seth Rollins. They'll have the match. I never saw a general manager that sat down with folks and just talked about, well, we'll give you a match, but you'll have to see on we'll have to see what we can do from there. But Pierce, it's like gonna be set up a match, probably at Crown Jewel or something. We'll see that match coming forward with that coming up. So hey, we'll see on how that's gonna go down with Bronson Reed and all them. Well, speaking of that, we tell you this. We know at Crown Jewel, the Crown Jewel Championship will be online. World champion Gunther taking on Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion. This was a historic match. We seen it before Survivor Series and bragging rights, but now we'll see a crown jewel for the ultimate prize, the crown jewel championship. Neither man's championship will be on the line. Which is kind of suck. I think we should have just done that. Or something. Which championship will be on the line, but they want to save the expense and stuff, so they want to do that. Cody shaking Gunther's hand and getting to know Gunther. We know that they kind of met each other at the Royal Rumble for the last 2 years after Cody eliminated Gunther. Gunther made mention of Brock Lesnar about Cody made mention about Beast and stuff about Roman Reigns. I think there'll be a scientific matchup, but hey, we'll see. These two world champions for the reigning brands will go against each other to see who's the best of the best coming up at Crown Jewel. I kind of think that was a throwaway to me, but hey, we'll see on how this is going to all play out and go down the road for either champion. We'll see. Well, speaking of champions, the Judgment Day, General Manager Pierce informed the Judgment Day there will be a tag team tournament to determine who's next in line for the tag team titles. And General Manager Pierce saying that's going to start next week on Raw. The Judgment Day may have to look back at all these teams right here that's vying for a shot at becoming the next no one contenders for the tag team championship. I think they're going to be round matches. So 2 matches. We see the New Day will take on the Authors of Pain, former champions. There's going to be a lot of champions. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee will take on American Made. So which one of these 4 teams will advance on and be 2 sets, and we'll see round matches for the finals in the World Tag Team Championship Finals match between these 4 teams, and one more match to determine the finals who'll be next in line for the contendership. We'll see. I'm surprised that this team right here didn't get a shot into the entry. The War Raiders are back. The War Raiders want some gold, and I think they're looking for some gold. The War Raiders took on American Alpha, American Made, um, Alpha Academy, and they won over Alpha Academy and defeated Alpha Academy. The Royal Raiders could be next in line, I believe, next in line becoming next tag team champions. That's only time will be telling on that. Well, speaking of tag teams, we saw this reunion. Jimmy and Jay, the Usos, who's been tag team champions before, the Uso brothers came in at the Jay was trying to go in his locker room and he saw Jimmy sitting by. We kind of know where this leading to and where this going. Jay does not want no part of Jimmy after he feel like Jimmy and Roman belittling him. Jay saying that he doesn't want to be teaming with Roman. I think that's just a storyline arc to get everything set up to start the wheels in motion for Survivor Series, where the original bloodline takes on the new bloodline. That's going to be a match at Survivor Series, and they're trying to get the band back together, get the old hits together, and create some new hits. When you think about it, this match at Survivor Series, we'll see. But I think right now, Jimmy needs Jay, and Jay saying you don't need me. Roman Reigns don't need me. I think Roman's gonna get to the point that he has to be humble and realize that hey, I may mistreated Jimmy and I got to do better and I got to do right this time to make ends and stuff. That's what I did last time. I think that's what's gonna go down and crash down and stuff with the bloodline. But we know that it's gonna take some time, but we'll see on how this all is gonna pan out between them down the road for Jay and Jimmy. I know they're gonna get back together sooner rather than later. It's just a matter of time for Jay and Jimmy. But Jay's gonna be concentrated on defending his scrap against Braun Breaker. That's gonna happen next week on Raw, the Intercontinental Championship match rematch from almost 3 weeks ago. Jay Uso set to defend the championship against Braun Breaker, who's now the challenger. Can Braun win the championship back? Only time will tell. Well, we told you that Rhea Ripley was set to team up with Tiffany Stratton. Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton, they don't make a odd pairing, but General Manager Adam Pearce believed that they could work together as a team and take down women's champion Liv Morgan and her new bodyguard or associate, Raquel Rodriguez, after the beatdown they had got earlier tonight on Raw. And they want to do the same tonight after the Judgment Day. And did you see hearing that Carlito got a crush on Raquel Rodriguez? Carlito got a crush on Raquel Rodriguez. Well, okay. But we get to the tag team match. Um, we saw this. Rhea Ripley instantly pinned Liv Morgan to get the 1, 2, 3 and pinned the women's champion to get the win. Well, women's champion from SmackDown, Nia Jax, came and just started attacking Liv Morgan and got some payback on Liv as what Liv did to her last week when that match against Naomi. Well, we know Rhea and Nia don't like each other one bit, and Rhea and Nia want to annihilate each other. We'll see if this is going to be a short-lived alliance, because I believe it's going to be that way, a short-lived alliance to do what they need to do. We'll see how this is going to play, but you can tell that Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Scranton and Nia Jax, as you see Liv and Raquel recovering from what went down. But hey, they got a lot on their plate coming up. I can tell you that right now. Um, we'll see if this strange bedfellows between Rhea and Nia and Raquel would just leave out and work out down the road. We have to wait and see how it's going to go down eventually. We'll see. Still. All right, that does it for the Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we're talking about this. Vince Russo made some harsh comments about main event Jey Uso, about his booking about Intercontinental Champion with the fans and all that and stuff not relating to him. And Rikishi took issue and told Vince Russo that he can shove it. I think Vince Russo making a lot of too many people about writing and stuff. He's trying to be like Howard Stern, be a shock jock. But come on, man. I might well leave that alone, because I mean they're telling the storyline right here with what's going on with Jimmy and Jay. They was a dominant tag team for many years, and now Jay's got to earn Jimmy's got to earn Jay's respect back. That's it. You know, that's storytelling 101 right there. When you broke somebody's trust, you got to earn their respect back. And I think that's what's going on. I think he's watching, but he's not watching. He claims he doesn't watch, but he does watch because he's getting paid to watch. So maybe this Russo got to really think about stuff like that. And you know, keep it PG minimum, you know. Hey, we know you love the attitude era, but you know, things happen. You know, we'll see. We gotta let this all play out. That's all. We're hearing that Hiro Tatashi saying that 2026 will be his last. He's going to retire in 2026. So Tatashi retiring from wrestling. We know Daniel Bryan just retired this past Sunday. So a lot of people are retiring from wrestling permanently. So hey, you see that. Also, too, we told you that we're hearing reports that Bianca Belair could be coined Miss WrestleMania at her WrestleMania streak. Bianca hasn't lost their WrestleMania streak ever since defeating Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, list of others at WrestleMania. I forgot who she wrestled at WrestleMania last year. Asuka, and this year she was in a championship match at WrestleMania? No, she was in a tag team match, I think. Yeah, she was in a tag team match, a 6-woman tag team match. So they calling her Miss WrestleMania, but Bianca could be called Miss WrestleMania, as the Undertaker was called Mr. WrestleMania, the undefeated streak for Bianca as well. So we'll see how this is going to play out eventually. Who else? That's it. John Cena made a rare appearance on KCN podcast. We'll have his interview tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report. So look for that. Cena was on KCN podcast talking about life, WWE, and life after wrestling. Cena gearing up for 2025, which gearing up to be his last year in wrestling. And Cena setting the tone. Also, too, Jim Ross saying that he doesn't feel a connection with Mercedes Monet in AEW. There could be a possibility because she's thriving, but she's not thriving. So I mean, she's in a floundering, like she's the big fish in a small pond. And I think what JR trying to say, she's gonna have to make some more personality. She just got there, so I'm gonna give her grace, and we'll see how Mercedes Monet will do in AEW. She's not having decent matches that she won't. Even that disastrous match she had with Britt Breaker. So there's a lot going on with that. All right, we're gonna leave you here on the Raw Ring Report with Rhea Ripley pinning women's champion Liv Morgan to the mat. Well, we know that Rhea Ripley is going to be somewhat involved in these matches. We'll see going down forward. Thank you for watching the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendra Dick, saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show.